Abhishek, for this character, can you even imagine anybody else playing that kind of thing?
I was available.
No, you were not available. Between Amitji and Abhishek, except for the grace that they kind of carry in the performance. See, I think sometimes the grace of an actor kind of shows. Otherwise, I don't think there's anything in common. They're very distinctive as actors.
Balki has an amazing bond with my father. I think every actor would love to have that kind of a bond with their director. They share a great relationship. Unfortunately, I didn't get to perform with him in the same scene. But like we said, Balki said, we're lucky to have him in our film.
I hope that people watch it, people like it, makers consider me for more interesting work because I'm just a greedy actor who wants to be constantly working. So the minute I'm at home for a longer time than 15 days, I start getting irritable. So I'm just a happier person when I'm on set. So as long as I get fun things to do, I'm in a happy space.
For me, that's my family. They keep me and they inspire me. They're the reason I do what I do.
Hello everyone, I'm Rashita Sahni and you're watching me on Bollywood Bubble. Now, very fewer times do we come across films that already feel like a critical acclaimed one even before their release. And well, Ghoomer definitely feels like one. Today, joining me for a super interesting conversation are R Balki, Saiyami Kher and Abhishek Bachchan, who are all set to impress all of us with their sports drama. Hi you guys, how have you been?
Very good.
Very well, thank you.
Why I gave that intro was firstly congratulations because I often say this, that trailers in films are very important because they give you a gist of what you're about to witness. And when I watched the trailer of Ghoomer this morning, I was like, okay, this is something that, I and a lot of people would want to indulge themselves in. So congratulations on that. But Balki sir, starting with you, every role, every character, even in the trailer, which is barely 3 minutes, I get this sense that everyone fits their role perfectly. So everyone from Abhishek, Saiyami, Shabana ji, everyone, Angad, were they your first choices and how did the casting go on in your head?
There are many characters in the film and Shruti plays a very important role in casting. The rest, a lot of the other characters. But yeah, I can't think of anybody else playing these parts. Saimi's role, I think she's the only sportsperson actor that we have in our industry, truly. And Abhishek, for this character, can you even imagine anybody else playing that kind of thing?
I was available.
No, you were not available. You were not. It was not availability. It was just the fact that when you're playing a certain kind of character, like I keep saying, it's a very acerbic, it's a very sarcastic kind of a character, which needs tone, gentleness of even the sarcasm, which Abhishek brings to the party. And I think there is a certain intensity and a sense of humor which the character requires, which it has. So I think casting was very clear between these two. The rest of Mangad I just bumped into in a restaurant, and he said, "What are you doing? This thing, you don't call me for anything." I said, "Well, tomorrow let's meet." So this role, because I hadn't yet cast for the role and I didn't know, this is a perfect guy to kind of cast. So it just happened by accident. Ivanka was cast by Shruti. Shabana ji, of course, I called, saying who can play the Dadi who's cricket mad. So it was like Shabana was game for it. Shivi was a friend. So it just happened organically. I think the casting fell into place very naturally.
Lovely. Saiyami, as Balki sir correctly mentioned, you are the only sports person actor we have, in our industry. How much of inspiration or relatability did you take from your own personal life to play this role? Also, at any point did it take an emotional toll on you? It's a heavy one.
I'm obsessed with cricket. I always have been since I was a child. My sister and I have major fights over it, but now I can say at least I've done a film where I'm playing a cricketer, so the fights are worth it. I love the sport. I can't imagine my life without the sport. So with regards to the sport, I feel Ghoomer cricket is a backdrop to the film. It's not entirely the film. So with regards to the sport, of course, it was my love for the sport that I could play a cricketer on screen, which was the dream. With regards to the emotional journey, I haven't ever experienced something like this, which is so tragic in my life. In any way to draw physically is one thing, but just that kind of tragedy I have not seen in life. So emotionally, I have not experienced that. So I was fortunate enough, Ekta Bayan, who's a javelin, India's javelin thrower, para athlete, spent a lot of time with me. I chatted with her. There were stories I spoke. There's another girl called Palak Kohli who plays badminton, like young kid. She's some 14, 15 years old. And their stories were extremely inspirational, which helped me in a certain way. And then, of course, it was Balki sir's direction and him telling us in which way to go. I was really glad that AB was on board because we had shot for Breathe already. But I really, really enjoy being in front of camera with him. He makes it all very easy and makes it all a lot of fun. So I'm just glad that he was part of the project as well. Angad has been my first friend in the industry, so it was very special to have him there. And Shabana Masi's known me since, well, I was born. So that was the only intimidating factor because she...
Is your first time with her?
First time ever. Wow. And first time ever was a scene which was not the easiest scene.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Abhishek, you managed to make it look, whichever role that you play, you make it look very effortless and also almost natural, like you're not watching something that's fictional. How do you get into the skin of your character so deeply?
Whether I get into the skin deeply or not, I'm not so sure of, but my job is to make it as seamless as possible, to make it as natural as possible, as believable as possible.
Yeah.
I think the one thing which is an absolute must, this is my personal belief, for an actor is authenticity, which is actually ironic because you're being fake, you know?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
You're lying, but you have to be authentic
Yeah.
about it. I mean, if you've seen the trailer, he's drunk, but I'm not drunk in real life. I'm performing.
Yeah.
You at times might be required to do a scene which may be contrary to your personal experiences, but you still have to do it. So authenticity is an absolute bedrock of acting, I feel. And that's the way it should be. The minute it becomes overtly theatrical, I think your audience itself starts disconnecting. And that's terrible for a film because then you know your audience is not emotionally invested. The reason I say authentic is because somewhere I need to make the audience feel that, oh, he's actually feeling that. And through that, they have to start feeling that.
Yeah.
And that's when there's this amazing bond between the screen and your audience, where the audience is actually vicariously watching and feeling and experiencing what the actors are going through. It's very visceral in that sense. It needs to be visceral because if it's not, they're just observing a film. They're not living the film.
Agreed.
Why do we in Indian cinema? Why do we love the fact that hero ki entry vi chalo paise pheko na? It's not oh we want to throw money and lose our money. It's a sense of euphoria on seeing your hero. Why do we dance in the songs? Because the song makes us want to dance. When there's an emotional scene, why do we openly phoot ke rote hain? Why? Because we're feeling that. That's the beauty of Indian cinema. You know, it throws all your inhibitions away. But if I'm going to be performing it and saying, hey, look at me, I'm performing, the audience is going to be observing my performance. They're not going to be living my performance. So it's absolutely essential for an actor to be authentic in their role and in essaying the emotions that they do.
Amazing. Balki sir, we also have a cameo of course, Amitabh Bachchan ji, and Abhishek said at the launch that he is kind of the lucky charm of everything, every film that you do. Is there like a difference that you see in pattern or in acting when it comes to Abhishek and Amitabh ji, because you have worked with both of them very closely?
He's a lucky charm of Bollywood. I mean, he would hate Bollywood. Of the Indian film industry, he's a lucky
correct.
charm of it. Between Amit ji and Abhishek, except for the grace that they kind of carry in the performance. See, I think sometimes the grace of an actor kind of shows. Otherwise, I don't think there's anything in common. They're very distinctive as actors. Completely different, in fact, in a lot of ways.
Abhishek, would you like to add on to that? You didn't get to share screen space, but of course, he was there on set for the cameo.
I think every actor would love to have that kind of a bond with their director. And they share a great relationship, which is of mutual love and respect. And Balki is very kind that he says, I will not make a film without him. So he has to have him in whatever capacity. And he did so the same in Ghoomer. And unfortunately, I didn't get to perform with him in the same scene. But like we said, Balki said, we're lucky to have him in our film.
Amazing. Saiyami, do you think after Ghoomer, after this strong part that you play, not only emotionally, but it's also, I feel, a very layered character, has her own journey. A lot of filmmakers will now see you in a different light.
I hope they do, because but that's not the reason
Of
I
course.
what would do the film is hope that people see me. And if I genuinely would really love, this was a dream role, but obviously as an actor you want to constantly be working in interesting roles in interesting films. So I hope that people watch it, people like it, makers consider me for more interesting work, because I'm just a greedy actor who wants to be constantly working. So the minute I'm at home for a longer time than 15 days, I start getting irritable. So I'm just a happier person when I'm on set. So as long as I get fun things to do, I'm in a happy space.
Fantastic. Abhishek, in the film, you are seen constantly motivating Sayami to do well professionally. In your real life, if I ask who or what motivates you to always, get up and give your best, what would that be?
Who or what motivates me to get up and give my best? I think when you're an actor, the profession, a large part of the profession is very internalized. So that motivation has to be yourself. I've always said this. I don't know how many actors will agree with me, but we're our biggest critics, and we are our greatest judges. And to the extent that when we see our film, we know whether it's going to work or not. After that, it's the management and the PR machinery that takes over, and your professionalism to have to go out there and promote a film. But you know inside whether you've done a good job or not. So you have to be your greatest motivator. You have to wake up in the morning and say, okay, I want to improve upon myself. I want to do better than I did yesterday. So for an actor, I think your greatest motivator has to be yourself. But then again, to have a support system around you that keeps you grounded and real, is very realistic with you. They're not just going to be yes men or women. To have people like that around you and to surround yourself with people like that is also very important. For me, that's my family. They keep it real. They keep me and they inspire me. They're the reason I do what I do. But since you asked about motivation, I think as an actor, you have to be your greatest motivator has to be you.
This was, in the film industry overall, if you see any film that's based on sports, always comes across as something that's very inspiring. And I have also asked this when Tapsi was coming with Shabash Mittu, or when Ranveer was doing 83, that do you feel this will inspire the people of India to get into the sports system more? Also here, Sayami, because it's based on a female cricketer, more so, do you feel it will also inspire the women of India, the girls of India to come forward?
This, before being a sports film, is a human story.
Yeah.
We hope that it inspires people in general. It's not about to get into sport.
Sports. Sayami.
No, I completely agree. It's a human story first. Like I said, cricket is a backdrop. It's wonderful to see. I go to Shivaji Park, I see so many young girls playing
I don't
cricket.
think you need to inspire anybody to play cricket.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are a lot of girls playing. If you go and see in grounds now, there are a lot of girls playing. But I just feel there's lots more. There are like family relations in the film. There is the relationship with the coach. There is just this, for me, what the film was, just having hope to do anything in life. So just fighting.
It's also when you
against
push to a
odds.
corner, you innovate.
Yeah.
The film is about that. It is not about, cricket is a backdrop. Like a house is a backdrop, cricket is a backdrop.
Got it. But also, now do you feel this film actually truly deserved to be on big screens? Because I wouldn't call it a compromised release, but when a film releases on OTT, the cheer and the charm of watching it with an audience in the theaters, that just gets vanished. And sometimes it's sad, especially when a film is like this one. Recently, Rocky Rani also released and it's doing great because of that, that thing amongst the audience members that they are so enthusiastic to go into the cinema halls. Do you feel this will also draw the audience members back to the theaters?
We hope so, and I think we decided to do the theatrical stuff for two reasons. One is, I just think that it's a community watching experience. When I say that, there is just not the last 40 minutes like Abhishek keeps saying. The last 40 minutes a carnival. It's like joy. It's like CTVT. You have to clap and you have to jump and you have to cheer together. So it's tough to kind of whistle at home, to sit there. And the second thing is, I always believe that emotions, which are larger than life, okay, when you connect, it's always when you can cry in public, when you can laugh in public, when you can do things in public, it's a much better kind of experience, and this film is that.
And as actors, Abhishek and Saiyami, you have had web releases as well. Does this feel a little nervous also, because that big Friday thing that keeps going on?
I think the Big Friday thing is more for you all.
For us?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you all are obsessed with numbers.
Really?
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Then why should it be a thing?
Yeah.
You have to do a good job, you have to make a good film.
Yeah.
That pressure is going to be there whether you release it on television, on OTT, on film, anywhere. You have to make a good film. That is the be all and end all. The rest will all follow.
Saiyami?
I think I'm very nervous on the Friday that we started shoot, because that's when things are in my hand. So what happens on the Friday of a release is really not in my hand. So we've done what we can to the best of our ability. So now we just trust what we've done and hope people come and watch it.
Yeah.
With regards to this coming in theatres, I keep telling him that I'm just so happy to see it in theatres. When you watch the trailer, just watching it, it all feels nice and overwhelming to see it on the big screen. There are certain films I feel which are really good for OTT. Like I did a film called Choked with Anurag, which I feel I would have been happier watching it at home. It's more intimate, it's a smaller setting. But a film like Ghoomer, I don't think I would have enjoyed watching it at home.
Agreed. Yeah, I feel the same. On that note, I hope we all have a great Friday on the 18th of August.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for this lovely interview. All the very best for
Thank
Ghoomer.
you, Rashita.
Hi, I'm R Balki. You're watching us on Bollywood Bubble.
Hi, I'm Saiyami Kher and you're watching us on Bollywood Bubble.
Hello, I'm Abhishek Bachchan and you are watching me on Bollywood Bubble.